안녕하세요, 여러분. 저는 Jenny예요. Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny, and today we're talking about the South Korean won. Talking about how to refer to it in Korean, how to count it, what numbers to use, what type of cash money there are, like bills, coins, what's on those bills and coins, and then also how to spend it, what spending money in Korea kind of looks like. So, in this video, we'll start with just the basic facts and knowledge. 대한민국 won. 대한민국 is the official government name of Korea, and won is the name of the currency. Depending on which font you're using, the symbol will either have one line or two lines through a W. When you count money, you will be using Sino-Korean numbers. That's the number system that begins with 1, 2, 3, 4, not the one that begins 하나, 둘, 셋. And that's because when we count bigger numbers, we use Sino-Korean numbers. There is no number for 100 in Sino-Korean numbers, and you can kind of see most of the Korean won is well over 100, so we cannot use native Korean numbers when counting money. There are four main types of banknotes, 지폐, and four main types of 동전, coins. There are more coins, but I don't think anyone ever uses them. I've never seen them. So we'll just talk about the ones that I did have experience using with, and I know they're still in circulation. So four types of banknotes: the 1,000 won, 5,000 won, 10,000 won, 50,000 won. Coins, you have 10, 50, 100, and 500. The 100 won and the 500 won are the most commonly used out of all of those, but you'll still see 50 and 10 if you make a really weird purchase. And then there's also a 5 and a 1 coin, but we're not going to talk about those. Bills are different sizes and different colors. The lower value bills are going to be smaller. The larger value bills are going to be a bit larger, like physically. So each bill is a different size and different color, unlike US money. This makes determining what bills you're taking out of your pocket very, very easy because they're all different colors. This is a conversion rate as of March 2025. Conversion rates are always changing, so it's not that smart to just memorize a conversion rate because it's going to change eventually. A good rule of thumb is to just think of 1,000 won, 1,000 won, as 1 USD. So 1,000 won equals $1, more or less. That's kind of how I thought about it. So 5,000 won, about $5, even though right now the actual conversion rate is 345. Man won, $10. 5만 won, $50, more or less. If you would not spend 10 USD on something, probably wouldn't spend man won on it either. 500 won, 500, 100 won, 100, 50 won, 50. This is how won on a menu may look like. There are different ways that you'll see it. So here, 육개장 is about 7,000 won, which might seem really expensive until you realize that's about $7. That's not that expensive. For 육개장, it's pretty good. Next, we'll go through all the bills and all the coins, talking about what's on them and their symbolism, starting with the front of the bill, 앞면. On the front, you'll see this picture of this man, Taege Iwang. Taege is his pen name. Iwang is his real name, but you'll usually see it together, both names together. He was a philosopher, a writer, and a Neo-Confucian scholar during the Joseon dynasty. In fact, all the people you'll be seeing on bills are from the Joseon dynasty. It was kind of like the golden age of Korean history. In the back, you'll see a lecture hall. This lecture hall is at Sungkyunkwan University. It's a university in Seoul. It's still there. It's a very old university from the Joseon dynasty. And he taught there. That's why it's in the background of his bill. You can also see flowers in the corner here. Those are plum flowers, 매화꽃. Also on this bill, you can see 한국은행, Bank of Korea. That's who makes the money, who prints the money. And 1,000 won is how much it is. 1,000 won, 1,000 won. This is the back, 뒷면. The back is this painting by Jeongseon depicting Dosan Sowon. Dosan Sowon is present-day Andong in Korea. It's a city in Korea. And it's a place where Iwang stayed. So if you zoom in on this picture, it's a very nice landscape, but if you zoom into this building here, you'll get this, and you can see him reading his book in this building. So that's why they chose that painting for the back of this bill. Next is Yulgok Yi. Yulgok is his pen name. Yi is his real name. He was also a philosopher, a writer, New Confucian scholar, and is the son of Shin Saimdang. We'll talk a little bit more about Shin Saimdang later. She's actually on the face of the 50,000 won. He was born, him and his mother were both born in Ojukon in Gangneung. Gangneung is a city on the eastern coast of Korea. You can actually go there to his house and see it. I've been there. They have quite a few, it's a very large place, and they have quite a few works by his mother because she was a calligrapher. So you can go to Ojukon in Gangneung and see where he was born. Ojukon means place with a lot of bamboo. So you can see behind the buildings here, his birthplace, you'll see bamboo, black bamboo, because it's a place with a lot of bamboo. On the back, this is a painting by his mother with insects and plants, like some sort of melon plant. So this is his mother's painting, which is why it's on the back of his bill. This one, the Man Won, 10,000 won, features Sejongdaewang, King Sejong the Great. He was the fourth king of the Joseon dynasty and is considered one of the greatest monarchs, if not the greatest, in Korean history. He is credited with the invention of Hangul, the Korean alphabet. So on the back, you can see, first you can see this folding screen for Joseon era kings. So this is his face. In the back, you see this kind of like mountain landscape with the white moon and like the red. This is a folding screen for Joseon era kings. So if you go into a king's throne room in the Joseon era, he'll be sitting on his throne, and behind that throne, you'll see this landscape. So because he's a king, this folding screen also appears behind his image on the bill. And you can also see some Hangul up here in the background. This is text from one of the first works of literature written in what has become modern day Hangul. On the back, there's also this armillary sphere. It tells the position of the sun, moon, season, and time. This invention, I believe, was brought over from China, but it made its way to Korea around the same time as King Sejong the Great, and he was very interested in inventions and new technology like this. In the back, you can see like a map of stars and a telescope. This is Shin Saimdang, the mother of Yi. She was an artist, poet, writer, calligrapher. You can see some of her works if you go to her birthplace in Gangneung. But what she's really known for, the reason why she was considered so important during the Joseon dynasty, is because she exemplified Confucian ideals. Joseon dynasty was all about Confucianism, peak of Confucianism during the Joseon dynasty. The idea of being a good wife and wise mother, Hyunmo Yangcho, is what she is known for. She's known for being this. This banknote is actually relatively new. It was only released in 2009. So this one didn't always exist, but now you will be using it a lot if you go to Korea and use cash. These paintings are not by her. These are by two different artists, and they've kind of been overlaid with each other. So you have Wormedo, Moon and Plum Blossom. You also have Pungjukdo, Bamboo and Wind. They've kind of been overlaid and turned horizontally. Next, onto the coins, the Dongjeon. Duimyeon has the year it was minted, in this case 2001, the amount, 10 in this case, and then Hanguk Eunhaeng, the Korean bank who minted this coin. On the head, Apmyeon, you have 10won, the amount in Korean, in Hangul, and then some sort of symbol. So here, this is Tabotab, which is a Buddhist pagoda in Gyeongju. Gyeongju is in Southeast Korea. It was the capital of the Silla dynasty, which was really big in Buddhism. So you'll see a lot of Buddhist temples, such as Purguksa, which is where this pagoda is. The 51 has a stalk of rice, pyo, on the other hand. Rice is very important, one of the staple foods of Korea, so it's featured on the 51 coin. The 101 coin has Admiral Yi Sun-shin. He was a Navy admiral and a national hero. He's very fondly remembered as one of the great Koreans in history. He lived around the 1500s, and he defeated the Japanese during the Imjin War using turtle ships, kobukjeon, that look like this. They're covered on the top and have some spikes. So he is known and associated with these types of ships and helped defeat the Japanese during the Imjin War. The 501 coin has a red crowned crane that looks like this. And there are two different words for crane. Durumi is the native Korean word for it, and hak is the Sino-Korean word for it. So you can use either word to refer to this crane. Next, we're going to talk about some real-life examples of how money is used when you go to Korea. One, you've already seen how money might be featured on a menu, but this is another example on the left. So this is a picture taken at a hot dog stand, hot dog shop, which is like Korean pancake filled with brown sugar, but there are different types, as you can see. And this is actually really cheap. Hot dog, 1,000 won, roughly $1 USD. If you're going by March 2025 conversion rate, that's 69 cents for a hot dog about this big. Gur hot dog is like honey hot dog, but you can get more expensive kinds like choco hot dog, that's 1,500 won, 1,500 won. Or you can get 2,000 won, like ice cream hot dog with ice cream. So you'll notice here they drop the comma between the thousands and hundreds column, so there's no comma there. One thing that you'll maybe have to do if you go to Korea is exchange money. Exchange is called 환전, exchange money. If you go to an ATM, you'll see something like this. Don taki is withdraw money, take money out. Don noki is deposit money, put money in. Don 보내기, sending money. And 통장 is like bank book. 정리 is like organize, so organize your bank book. This is bus fares on a bus. 요금, fee, 표 is ticket. So ticket, fee, ticket price. It's divided into various types depending on who is writing and if you're paying with card, 카드, versus 현금, cash. 일반, regular passengers. Regular adults like you and me, we would be considered 일반, even if you're a college student. 청소년 is like younger teenagers, younger kids. 어른이 is really small kids. Those are really small kids. 어른이. If you are a general passenger and you pay with card, that's going to be less expensive than if you pay with 현금. If you pay with 현금, it is 1,200 won. If you pay with card, it is 1,140 won. So it's a bit cheaper if you pay with card, probably because it's less of a hassle than having to deal with cash and getting change out. Same thing for if you're a child. It's still going to be cheaper if you pay with a card. And they have transportation cards for kids that don't actually have a credit card. This is another example of what a menu might look like. This is a cafe menu. Here they drop the 00 off at the end. So 4.5, the point is where the comma would go. So this is actually 4,500. This is 5,000. 5,500. So depending on what you get, it can be anywhere from 4,500 won to 5,500 won. If you want to ask how much something is, maybe they don't have a menu where you're going, you can say 이거 얼마예요? How much is this? That is it for this lesson. 잘했어요. 다음에 봐요. See you later.